What's up, folks? My name is Skunk Commentary, and today we're going to talk about something that is, well, that is going to be a bit on the new side here. I generally do not discuss language here on this channel, even though I think language is a very interesting topic, and I'm currently studying language, which is why I think this topic isn't interesting. And I know I'm a bit late to the train on this topic. I arrived basically a year after the train left, but we're going to talk about the term Latinx. So, what is Latinx? Latinx is basically people on the far left wanting a gender-neutral word for the word Latina/Latino. And if you do not know what Spanish is a gendered language, very much like German, Sanskrit, and to some extent in Icelandic. And that is what we're kind of going to talk about today, because how, yeah, Latinx is made by people on the far left to make the language a bit more inclusive and gender neutral, which is not really a good thing when it comes to language that has been spoken in that way for as long as it has existed, really. And SJWs want to change how this works, really, with gendered language, even though gendered language, again, it has been a thing for as long as we all can remember. And I know I'm not the right person to get offended by this. I'm just a guy who studies language and thinks language is interesting. But actual Hispanics has gotten offended by this term. And there was a poll that was made for about 5 months ago, where they asked Hispanic people how many of them agreed with the term, and how many of them would like to get called Latinx. And only 2% wanted to get called Latinx, and 40% felt offended by it. You know you fucked up when you offended 40% of people. And again, the thing is, Latino and Latina, yeah, Spanish is a gendered language. And yeah, you should not change a gendered language to make it gender neutral. And the thing was, this was made by white people on the far left, who wanted it to be that Latinos/Latinas would like to vote for them in the and that failed miserably. My fucking language is bad. Again, I'm Swedish, so yeah, I do not speak the best English, but yeah, whatever. You should. The thing is, I don't know how to say it's in a good way, but it's really stupid to try and change a thing that has been like it's been for thousands of years, or hundreds of years, or how long Spanish has existed. I don't have the exact amount of years, but yeah. And the weirdest part about this is that the people who want to change this the most are people who are white. I'd get it if Hispanic people wanted this to change. Then I'd have my full respect towards it. But when white people to the far left want to change a word because they think it's offensive to make it gender neutral, that's where I think it goes wrong. I think I study language. I think language is really interesting, and sometimes it is a pain in the ass with some of the words in some languages where it's, yeah, sometimes it's a pain in the ass, like with German. It's the der, das, and die. If you remove it, the German would be a lot easier, but it would not make sense. And if people want to change how Latina and Latino works, yeah, that if you really want to be gender neutral, just use the word Hispanic. I have friends who are Hispanic and they prefer that word. And for this video, I actually asked one of my friends who is Hispanic, or is of Hispanic descent, what she thought about this. And yeah, she was not the most hyped about it, but she said it's good that they have an inclusive, but why would white people and people who are not Hispanic want to change this? And the thing is, why would people who are not... This is so stupid in that regard, because I get it if all the Germans want to take away der, das, and die. I get it that people would change it in that way, but then Germans would do it themselves. And then be like, alright, we have decided to do this. Iceland is amazing when it comes to it, because they do not want... They want to keep their language quote-unquote clean and not have any borrowed words. And with that way, they try to make words. Which they sometimes ask the people, right, here are some of the ideas we have on what words we can change to make Icelandic better. That is how they should really do it. Ask everyone speaking this if they want to do it that way. And they did. And what was the response from the Hispanic people? No one wanted it! Which I think is super fun. Because this is really how people should not do when it comes to language. Language are like they are for a reason. And again, I'm not the person who should get offended by this. It is the Hispanics that should get offended by it, if they feel like it. But again, languages were designed at a point where there were no people that identified as non-binary, or at least a very few. There were very few back in the medieval ages that were non-binary, because back then it wasn't really a thing. And there are some words that most of languages uses masculine, feminine, and normative words. Hope I got all those words right in English. But like German and Icelandic, and heck, even Sanskrit. Now when I'm saying this, I can almost guarantee that some blue-haired, really sexist but saying that she's a feminist person is gonna be like, oh, we need to change Sanskrit too. Which I hope that that is not a real idea. If people really want to change Sanskrit now, I hope they won't. And if someone actually wants to change Sanskrit, yeah, then it's insane. Yeah, I think this video is drawing to an end, and yeah, this is a video made by a guy who studies language, who is sick and tired of this shit. I mean, again, languages are like they are, and if people do not want to use gendered languages, then learn to speak English. English is not a gendered language. Yeah. I'll end this video off on that note. If you enjoyed me ranting a bit about why I think Latinx is an unnecessary term, again, people who are Hispanic do not like this term, you know. Yeah. If you liked me ranting about languages for a bit, I'd love to make more videos about languages. I think language is super interesting. So yeah. Until next time. This is Skunk Commentary, signing out and not saying Latinx. Because it's fucking unnecessary.